guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a Too Good To Go video. If you guys aren't familiar with Too Good To Go, it's basically an app that you can get and it's pretty much all to do with supporting food waste in restaurants, cafes, other kind of eateries. And I'm really into that. And I just heard about this from other people online, and a few of my family and friends have used it as well. So when I came over to the UK, because I can only get the app on my friends and family's phones, not on my phone, I thought I'd give it a try. Now, basically, the premise is that if there's any restaurants, cafes that have got any, at the end of the day or throughout the day, any food that they either can't sell or it's near the best before date, they put it on the app in certain bags, and they can be like surprise bags, grocery bags, pastry bags, and there's all different brands that have signed up to it. So things like Starbucks, Costa, I think Selfridges is in there in London, and also supermarkets, so Morrison's, I think Aldi, M&S, and I love M&S food. So I wanted to try a bit of a mix, and today yesterday I actually got their end of day groceries from the Co-op. Now, I think it was £4 I paid for. You obviously don't know what you're getting, but the theory is that you pay the £4 and I think you get a retail value of around about 10 or 12. Again, I'll put the information on screen of the specifics, but I think it was a £4 grocery bag that I got. And quite often when you go and pick up the items, it is better to bring your own bag, because sometimes they can just bring all sorts of things that you kind of have to carry. So in this instance, they gave me a box of, you probably can't see, but a box of all sorts of goodies. Now, this was my first, I think, grocery bag that I've actually got from Too Good To Go. So I wasn't quite sure whether it was going to be like a complete mishmash or any kind of structure to it. And of course, I don't know whether this is kind of the norm, because it's my first grocery bag that I've got off the app. So to just get started, the £4 that I got so far, now a lot of these are kind of best before, so they were reduced. But I mean, from what I can see, they all look completely fine. But I guess there's various rules and regulations about them not being able to sell certain items. So this is 2 corn on the cob. Looks like it was reduced to £1 originally from £1.80. So that's, and I love corn on the cob. So that's 2 corn on the cobs there, which I think is pretty good. Then also I got baby spinach. I really like spinach. And this was £1.35 reduced to 80 pence. And it's a nice bag, and it all looks fine, to be honest. I generally freeze my spinach anyway, so I can just use it throughout when I'm cooking. So that's totally fine. Nothing's mouldy. It looks good, and that's great. Then also I've got some fruit. Now, it says it was originally £2.85 reduced to £1.55, and it's melon chunks. So I don't really like melon personally, but my dad's got his eye on this, so I think he's probably going to eat this. But again, I think all in all, so far what I've got near enough kind of covers the £4 retail. Then in addition, I've got a reduced Co-op mashed potato, which was originally £1.40, reduced to 85 pence. And decent size, 400 grams, and that looks fine. I think you could probably freeze this as well. Yeah, freezable. So even if you got the groceries and you didn't necessarily want all this on the same day, you could just freeze it. Then I have got some British chicken breast strips, and this was originally £3 down to £1.25. Sorry, £1.95. So, and that's great, you can freeze it, not a problem. And what I'll do is I'll put a tally on screen of what everything was retail in relation to how much I've paid, just so you can kind of see the visual. Then also some more veg. I've got some carrot batons, which are 85 pence. They were originally £1.35. And that is 300 grams. So again, they look perfectly fine. It doesn't see anything wrong with them. And I love carrots, so these will be great with a bit of like honey and stuff on. But yeah, excellent. And it's all kind of pre-prepared for me, which is handy. Then, which I particularly liked when I saw the box when they gave it to me, they packed a lemon cake, and I think it was originally £3.25, reduced to £2.20, and it's a whole lemon cake, which is kind of nuts, bearing in mind it was just under £4 just for this cake. So I have got my eyes on this. I know my mum and dad definitely want to try some, so I'm keen to give it a bit of a taste. But it says it's soft, delicate lemon sponge topped with sweet Sicilian lemon drizzle icing. Sounds great. Yeah, and a whole cake. So all in all, I've got kind of a bit of everything. I've got a whole cake. I've got some vegetables, which are the carrots. I've got sweet corn as well. And then, as I guess what would be like a main dish, you've got the chicken. And then you've also got a whole bag of baby spinach. Then if you want to go with your chicken, maybe your veg, you've got mash. And then on top of that, if you didn't necessarily want the lemon cake, you've got a whole carton of melon chunks. So I don't know whether it was deliberate, but it's kind of like I've got a 2-course meal put together. So whoever packed it at the Co-op, thanks, it's great. But I really like the fact that you've got some veg, you've got the protein, you've got some fruit if you wanted it, and then you've also got a whole lemon cake, which I think's so good for £4. All of it looks totally fine to eat. It doesn't seem to be a problem with any of it. I'm probably going to freeze the chicken, probably the spinach, and maybe even the kind of mashed potato. But for me, as a first kind of experience of having a grocery bag, certainly from the Co-op, and this is very much quite a well-known supermarket in the UK, I think it's really good. And I think it'd be really good for families as well, if you've got kids and things. But this, for me, is kind of a 2-course meal, bar eating the whole lemon cake myself. So, yeah, I think definitely worth it. I'd definitely try it again. And I'd like to see the consistency to see whether that is usually the case, whether they try and put things together with some kind of structure in mind. Obviously, whatever kind of surplus products they've got, or whether they just put whatever in, like, is the next bag I'm going to get just, 40 mushrooms and a corn on the cob, or, how they're going to put it together. It'd be interesting to know. If you guys have used the Too Good To Go app, let me know how you find the supermarkets, whether it's a bit mishmash or whether there's some kind of structure. But yeah, definitely, and let me know what you think, any of the supermarkets that you would kind of recommend. I wouldn't mind trying Aldi and maybe Morrison's as well, because I think they're also on the app. But certainly for the Co-op one, I think it's exceptionally good for £4. And I've got a 2-course meal covering protein, veg, fruit, and a few naughty treats. But all in all, really good experience. I really liked the use of the app as well. So you just log in and it's really user friendly. You can type in the region within a certain kind of distance, and it'll show you which brands are kind of on the app and supporting it. And then you click on it and it will tell you what's available. I would say as well, regarding the app, if you are going to do the bags, I actually ordered from a few other places and they cancelled because they just didn't have the surplus to provide the bag that I was paying for. So you don't get charged straight away. What will happen is you'll request it, you'll then get a notification and you get an allocated collection time to pick it up. So if you've got a surprise bag you've paid a certain amount of money for, you have to pick it up within that time frame. If you don't, you will still get charged. So it is really important you have to pick it up within that time frame. If before the time frame they find out they just don't have enough surplus to provide the bag, they will cancel it and you won't get charged. So that is great. But bear that in mind. So a few times I've ordered things. I've been trying to order things off Costa, and each time I've ordered, they've cancelled because they just don't have enough in stock. It might be because I'm going to different Costas that are quite small Costas and not really big kind of Costa cafes. So I may try that another time. But certainly with the Co-op, they were brilliant, really, really good. And I definitely use them again. I think it's so cost effective. And they're getting some money from me and they're not just getting rid of, throwing away the food. So I think it's kind of a win-win. But I think they actually do it in Australia. I'm pretty sure Melbourne and Sydney, and also various parts of Europe, the US, Canada. So there's quite a few places. It's just unfortunate they don't do it in New Zealand, which I would love to do this in New Zealand. I think it would be so good, especially with the ethos in New Zealand. We're very much about kind of sustainability and renewable energies and things like that. So hopefully it gets to New Zealand, but certainly in the meantime, I feel that this might be a bit of a mild addiction for me doing Too Good To Go bags. And I love the mix of them. You can do pastry ones, you can do groceries, you can do a dinner. A restaurant can provide something for dinner. Most of the time you obviously don't know what you're getting, so that might be something fun to try. But I just thought this would be a little bit different video and kind of fun, and I like the fact that it's a surprise. You don't really know what you're getting, so it's ended up being quite good that I've got kind of 2 meals out of it. But it's kind of like, you've got this amount of food, try and put something together to eat, and it's worked out pretty well for me, so I'm pretty happy. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, but I just really love the app and I love the premise of what they're trying to do. And it's cost effective for me as the user of the app, and also the businesses that are signed up to it. It's helping them as well. It's not just big global companies like Starbucks and Costa. It's also local cafes in the area and local restaurants. So it's really helping quite a variety of different hospitality industries and providers. So I'm really in support of that. So let me know what you thought of the video, and if you've used the app and what you think, and if you can recommend any other brands that you think I might like. But thanks so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.